Assalamu alaikum, family. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Let Us Build a Conscious Community. We got a very special episode for you today. We're going to start out like this.
I got the.
Good, good.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, friends and family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this beautiful new day. Beautiful new day. This is October the 3rd, the beginning of the month of October. This is such a beautiful month. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And if you all don't mind, I'm going to actually pull this mask down just a little bit. We are social distancing. So we have our own little space where we are today. We are in a special place, very special. If you can adjust it so you can see. um, we're in a very special place. We are in Tempe,
Yes.
Arizona, and we are with our beloved sister, Sister Jennifer Muhammad. Thanking Sister Jennifer for being here, being present. Sweetie, can't see her face.
I'm trying to
Okay, all right. My husband and my son are the technical team, and
This
they
is the
are
side.
working to make this
Okay.
perfect. So while they are working to um, adjust
You need this,
and make it so that we
brother.
can
Here. You want this,
see
brother?
us as we go into our conversation.
You want this, brother?
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Assalamu
All
alaikum.
right, now we can see
Praise
our
be to
beautiful
Allah.
sister.
Yes, ma'am.
So as I stated, we are here in Tempe, and we are at this beautiful shop, the Phenomenal Designs by Sister Jennifer Muhammad, and we're gonna send you all some beautiful pictures of the entire place. But from the moment that you step through the door at the front door, which is down the hall, because there are many different shops where there are beauticians and clothing and just so many different things in here. But our sister has this beautiful, I mean, this place is really, really gorgeous.
Thank you, ma'am.
And it's top of the line, especially when it comes to individuality and being able to have that space where you're not around a bunch of people during this pandemic. You want to make sure that, if you have to go out, you are in an environment that is safe for you. And Sister informed me that she sanitized the place to make sure that it was prepared for us when we came, because we want to be safe, but she wants to be safe at the same time. So we have to do our part
Yes,
in being
ma'am.
safe,
Yes,
which is
ma'am.
important to talk about for this month. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we can look at the statistics. And if we look at the statistics of domestic abuse, we all know since March, it has gone up. It's gone up because everybody is at home with their children, they're at home with their spouse, they're not doing and running and the things that they normally would do. So, because we're spending more time with each other and the communication may not always be good, and let's say that anger builds up, frustration builds up, not sure what you're going to do, how you're going to make money. So violence becomes part of the day for a lot of people. So we're going to talk about it today, fam. We're going to deal with this very difficult topic. Okay. Domestic violence is very difficult because it comes from so many different levels. There's physical, where a person is physically abused. There's mental abuse, and there's verbal abuse. So because we have these things and nobody want to talk about it. But we're going to talk about it here on building an intentional Black conscious community. And the reason we're going to talk about it on this particular show is because we as a community have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to protect one another, protect our women, protect our children, protect our men.
Yes, ma'am.
So, because we as a community, we can't sit back anymore. For generations, family, and I'm saying up from slavery, we've been dealing with domestic violence in our communities. And it has devastated our communities to the point that women don't want to get married anymore. Women, unfortunately, all right, my sister's like, let me work this out because I need to see some faces around
There
here.
you go. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, because we've been dealing with this in our community for such a long time, the reason is because we keep burying it. We keep want to act like it don't exist, send our women off to some shelter, where the Caucasian has to provide a place for them. No, we are a community, a conscious Black community. And as we build that community family, we're going to have to deal with domestic violence. So we're going to talk to our sister today, who unfortunately had to experience this firsthand. Okay, so we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have to be there. We're going to pray for our sister and pray for those that are out there that are still in this situation. We're going to pray for strength. We're going to pray for courage. We're going to pray for a healing because we know that Allah is the source of strength. And through Christ, all things are possible. Okay. So you don't have to stay in this situation, fam. And Sister Jennifer is going to tell us a little bit more about what she experienced and how she was able to remove herself from that environment.
Is that better?
Oh, okay. That's good for me.
Okay.
All right. So, Sister Jennifer, thank you so much for being a part of
Yes,
this
ma'am.
show,
Yes, ma'am.
of our fireside chat, because
Yes, ma'am.
we don't have interviews. We don't do interviews
That's
around
right.
here because it's fam. Okay. What you
Excuse
need?
me, ma'am. My phone, I want to go live too.
No, no, this
Yeah.
one.
No,
Oh, over there. Okay.
I figured that.
Oh,
It does. There we go.
oh well, fam.
Okay.
So we're doing this fireside chat.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
again, we thank you so very much for being present and sharing
Yes, ma'am.
such an intimate part of yourself
Yes, ma'am.
and what it is that you experienced. And we don't want you to hold anything back, only what you feel, comfortable with sharing with us, so we don't want you to feel uncomfortable at any point. There's no need to, be nervous. As she says, phenomenal designs is a safe spot.
It's a safe spot.
It's a safe spot. So this is where we can come and be safe. Okay. So, Sister Jennifer, if you would just kind of tell us a little bit about you,
Yes, ma'am.
and then, tell us about what you experienced and then how you were able to pull yourself out of that situation.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
First, giving praise out to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I am very flattered, first of all, to have been asked to be a part of your show.
Praise be to God.
I also, as well, see it, especially during the month of October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thank you, sister, for wearing your purple.
Ah, yes, ma'am.
I did request that. I as well wore
Y'all see
pink.
I'm matching?
I wore pink because it is as well Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we don't want to leave one without the other. Um, I am Sister Jennifer Muhammad. I am a registered Muslim in the Nation of Islam. I have been in the nation since 1995. The best way I can explain it is through it all, and all praise be to Allah. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I'm an advocate for life, even through my own struggles. I will forever be an advocate for life. I will forever be available to anyone who comes through my door for aid from DV, sex trafficking. It started, Sister Natalie, my story. I fled a domestic violence marriage 2012 through the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
Mm.
I'm originally from Kansas City. Give a shout out to Muhammad Mas, number 30. And a friend called me one evening. I was married. And she said, he's going to kill you. At that time, my ex husband was locked up for a short time. She said, he's going to kill you. I have sent you $500. I need you to leave. Of course, somebody calling you out the clear blue, you wouldn't believe that. I was at home, and after she hung up, we hung up. I told her okay. She said she had a dream and it killed me. My At that time, my husband. Um, Being me, I went and got the money, of course, because I'm a preparer. And what happened that day changed my life forever. I went up to Walmart, which was a couple of blocks away from me at that time in Kansas City. I came back to my place, and you have to think about it. We're 2020. This was 2012. Nobody's using telephone books no more.
Right.
When I got back to my home, it was a telephone book open on my table, and the pages that it was open to were the emergency crisis line in the front of the telephone book.
Mm.
Me, I'm like, first of all, how did this telephone book get out? Because we Google nowadays, you know.
Right.
Um, that nothing spooks us because we don't believe in no spook God. That was a message from Allah God. Um, I prayed. I prayed on it. It wasn't a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in faith. I prayed on it. And I knew once he got out what I was going to be subjected to. He was in for a 30-day bit.
Okay.
He had to go back to the county. So I started preparing. I called the 1-800 number. I literally called the 1-800 National Domestic Violence number, and we started talking. And they asked me, "Do you want to move close or you want to move far?" In other words, do you want to move in state or out of state?
Okay.
A woman's love for a man is something, especially a husband. Um, I knew if I stayed in state, I would stay with him. I read something on Facebook about 3 weeks ago that unfortunately a FOI brother had posted. And in the comment he posted, women are stupid if you stay. And I paid attention to that post, and that is what brought this part of what brought this meeting today, because you're not stupid.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with you. You're afraid. You're afraid. As the post went on, you're afraid because you don't know how you're going to support yourself. It could be children involved. For me, the fear was, I'll find you. I'll find you. We watch TV shows, they find you. I'll find you. Mind you, I come from a very male oriented family. Some know I have a brother that's a police chief. I have two sons. At that time, I had a father. It doesn't matter with domestic violence. And that's what people need to understand, the community. I was asked, "Jen, you don't seem like that type who would let a man abuse you." It's no type.
Mm.
And the best way I can say it, until you go into a shelter
Yes, ma'am.
and see the other types,
Mm.
you don't know who are getting abused. Even men were in these shelters.
Yes, ma'am.
Women do abuse, and that needs to be aware. In our culture, we are told to suppress it,
Right.
to not tell. You played the video from the minister yesterday. Thank you, because a lot of abuse starts within family. Not for me, but I know sisters, I know women, I know men who have been abused from family members. Domestic violence has no status, it has no race, no culture, none of that. Anyone can go through DV. Domestic violence is not always physical. A wound can heal.
Right.
Scars heal quicker physically. But what about the scars emotionally, spiritually, mentally?
Right.
It all falls into place. Um, with the community, when I did tell the few people I told, people don't believe you. They don't believe you because you're not beat up.
Okay.
They don't know you stayed in the house or stayed away from them for 2 weeks because you didn't want them to see the black eye. You didn't want them to see the scar right here for life. You didn't want them to see the cut in your mouth for life. People just don't want to believe you because they don't want to deal
They don't
with
want to
it.
deal with it. That's true.
Then when you hear about a victim, well, we knew. I take that just like someone videotaping Brother Floyd getting his neck crushed. Put the phones down. If you know, take action.
Yes, ma'am.
Love does not hurt. I end up calling, we talked. I end up moving to Houston, Texas through the domestic violence hotline.
Okay.
They put me in a battered women's shelter. I stayed there for 2 weeks. I found me a place. Being a hairstylist, praise be to Allah, has kept me able to afford to take care of myself on certain levels.
Okay.
Even at the shelter, because I decided to leave 2 weeks after I got there, They assumed I wasn't telling the truth. No, it goes back to planning. If you are in a domestic violence situation, you have to plan your escape.
Mm,
It's an escape.
okay.
It's an escape. So I planned. I went in working and I planned. But you have to realize birds of a feather do stick together. And when you get around other women who are broken, who are hurt, who don't know where they're going tomorrow, don't know how they're going to feed their children, don't know how they're going to pick their life back up. And I'm pretty strong. Thank you, Mama. um, they don't want to lose that connection. They don't want you to leave.
Mm,
And this is just in all aspects of society. You want what you desire around you.
right.
And that's what I was dealing with. And I didn't want to get sucked into the shelter life. Hold on, though, because I did,
Yes,
as
ma'am.
you know. Um, no one came for me, no one called.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have some pictures.
But I told myself, I raised two sons. I'm a black woman, I'm a queen.
That's right.
And this was 2012.
Yes,
Mind
ma'am.
you, it's 2020. This was November. So I said, I'm going to start my year new. I want it to be new.
Okay.
And God can create new if you allow
Oh,
Him.
yes. Because
There's
it's a
no,
new day.
it's a new day. There's no time limit. But what I will tell anyone, there's a process. There's a process you have to take.
Mhm.
And you, unfortunately, don't know the process. Only Allah God knows it. I stayed in Houston for 6 years, rebuilt myself. In and out of, I got my own place. I end up, Harvey hit, Hurricane Harvey.
Okay. All right. We remember that.
I ended up moving to Galveston Island. Mom told me get off the island, and everything is sinking in with just what's going on today.
Mhm.
But I lost my dad while I was on the island 2 years ago. Then I knew it was time to get away from Houston. I wasn't. I Everything has a time limit, so I end up. I'll speak on it. Getting in a courtship. The courtship brought me to Phoenix.
Okay.
It was not a correct courtship. Please listen, sisters, because even when you think you have healed, you haven't. A lot of us haven't. You go back to your same patterns. You go back to the same
Mhm.
beliefs. You go back to wanting that nurturing, that love, especially women. We desire to be loved. Unfortunately, you have people who lurk on your vulnerability, and you're very vulnerable.
Right.
And we have to be careful because until you get the proper therapy, healing, attention to yourself, you're not going to know.
Right.
So, what looks good, the devil is still trying to pull you back.
Mm.
Your gin is in you talking because they see you striving. So, that's where that strength and that's where that courage comes in that no, even when you fall back, because we do. Sister Jennifer is a realist.
Yes, ma'am. And that's what we want you to do. Like I said, be
Yeah,
comfortable. And if you're okay with sharing,
yeah,
it's fine because people are experiencing this
everywhere.
every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Every day. And even when we're not necessarily in an abusive relationship, we tend to get into broken
Yes,
relationships,
ma'am.
one after the other, because we don't allow ourselves time to heal. See, the healing takes place between you and the creator,
That's it. That's
right?
it.
And nobody knows how long that takes for that relationship for you to be so
Mm-hmm.
secure
Mm-hmm.
in the God
Yes, ma'am.
that a husband or a wife that come into your life, you're now ready and you're prepared.
Mhm.
And when you go through that courtship process properly, it can be a saving grace to
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
I'm going to let you finish, and then I'll speak
Yes,
a little
ma'am.
bit more
No,
on.
thank you, because it's
um
very, very intricate information. Because a woman should desire a husband. We should, by nature.
right, that's our nature.
By nature,
Yes, ma'am.
you should desire that security, that support. The thing is, and especially, I'm going to speak on my culture. That's
Yes,
all I
ma'am.
can speak on. We are broken. The black women are broken. We don't have we have men out there who desire marriage, but they're scared too, because you have black men who are broken.
Yes, ma'am.
So imagine two broken people trying to fix each other. A negative and a negative leads to a negative. We have to take upon our own responsibility. Get yourself together.
Right.
Get yourself
That's
together.
right.
We have to be able to say when a brother come to us, I'm not ready.
Mm.
Neither are you. I don't want to be that selfish in my life where I get a potential husband who has to fix me up. That's a lost position.
Right.
And with all this comes submission. Because if you don't, you're going to start repeating. I'm a repeater.
Mm.
I bear witness. I'm a repeater. I'm a runner and I'm a repeater. And I got my little brother talking to me now, but I'm a runner. And how far can you run
From yourself.
from yourself?
Can't run far from yourself.
Um,
Because you there every time you turn around.
but that comes in shelters, that come in
Mhm.
domestic violence, because it's a cycle.
Okay.
And what a lot of people don't want to accept is the cycle did not start with Jennifer. The cycle started before Jennifer.
Right.
Somewhere in it could be family,
Hmm.
it could be friendships, it could just be my past. You know how they say, what's your backstory? You're a runner. DV, once you do get out that door and get away, you want to keep running because one is out of fear. My ex husband told me, wherever you go, I'll find you.
Mm.
I'm going to make your life just, you're not going to handle life. When I moved to Texas, he said, I know where you are. I had to go to court 3 times to get my divorce. He fought my divorce in the penitentiary. So when you got somebody who's fighting you from inside the penitentiary, what are you going to think when you out here? They're going to find you.
Mm.
Now, through counseling, therapy, Allah, prayer, healing, I have come to realize that's why I keep moving.
Mm.
Someone said, you gonna move again? Yes. But me and you just laughed about that, because when Allah gets tired, he's tired too. You're gonna stop moving, because he's not gonna allow you to move anymore.
Right.
He's gonna allow you to sit. Coming to Phoenix. Ooh, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
And I pray Allah lead these words, guide me. I came on a bad courtship, and once I got here, the brother threw me out in the middle of the night because I wouldn't have premarital sex. He had talked to my sons. He had talked to my mom. I came here thinking I would be a wife. That wasn't his plans.
Mm.
Get her on my territory, and she's gonna have to submit to me, not the will of Allah, but to him. I got thrown out 11 o'clock at night on the street in a brand new state. Never been here. Didn't know no one. Didn't know where to go.
Mm.
But who could I blame? Go back to our restrictive laws.
Yes, ma'am.
Go back to patience.
Mm.
Go back to discernment. And just go back at that time to a 49-year woman who knew better. I'm not on here to candy coat nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want anyone to think I'm a candy coat, nothing. My testimony, several people asked me for my testimony, Sister Natalie, and it's, um, if you are a Muslim sister, we have guidelines, we have
Yes.
laws.
Yes, ma'am.
I work around a lot of lost found. Being thrown out in the middle of the night in a city you have nowhere to go, you have two options. What put me here? What will get me out of here? For the last year, you know, my brother, y'all know because y'all have assisted me at that time. I've been homeless.
Yes, ma'am.
When it comes to community, no one wants to speak about something that they have not endured. The best way I could say with the community, but you have. If the woman next door is getting beat up, you have. If the little girl walking down the street with a boyfriend too old, you have. If the little 8-year-old boy who you know as little Bobby, little Mike, playing with a football, but always has an older person around them that you just, you have. It's a silent crime, but it's a visual crime.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we all at some point have looked at somebody and said something just not right about that.
Right, right.
Girlfriends and sisters have looked at it, sisters. I just had someone call me 2 days ago. My best friend is going through this. We can't get her away.
Mm.
The word says, but if one is left, you go back and get that one. You go back.
Yes, ma'am.
The night I was thrown out, Sister Natalie, no one came for me. They shipped me all the way to Casa Grande. That's the only available bed. And all I can say is for any woman, even if you're not in a domestic violence situation, find your references.
Okay.
Learn your references. Go in your phone books, Google, find out DV sex trafficking. In the state of Texas, we had to put up a sign in all salons that we were a sex trafficking safe place.
Oh,
That
really?
is how this became what it is. Yes,
Okay.
by law. In the
Mm.
state of Texas, you have to post the how Phenomenal Designs became a safe haven.
Okay. So
Come,
assuming that, like, people, women,
they can
girls, or
walk into
whatever,
any salon.
but they would go still get their hair done, still try to function
No,
in a society without letting people know. But when they come to a salon, that would be a safe place for them to tell.
yes. It's
Okay.
okay. When I went through the DV hotline, the shelter I stay with in Woodlands, Texas, um, you you can't report straight into a shelter, a battered woman's shelter. A homeless shelter is something you can go straight to them. When you're fleeing an abusive marriage or relationship, when you call them, 9 times out of 10, they'll have someone meet you at a
Mm.
safe spot. Normally, you'll go to the police station, and the police will escort you to that shelter because it's hidden, it's secluded.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so there's always restaurants around that are teamed up. One restaurant I know for sure that is a known safe place for any woman right now is Taco Bell. You can walk into any Taco Bell in the United States,
Mm.
go to the counter, and tell them to call 911. That's all you got to tell them.
Oh, wow.
No one says nothing because they don't know if the perpetrator is following you or what. But any woman can walk into a Taco Bell restaurant.
Okay.
And these are certain, and the thing is, no, it's not publicly publicized because you have the abusers. But you walk in, you go to a counter, I need 911 DV. That's all you got to say.
Okay.
And at that point, they will get in touch with the police. the police will come to the restaurant and escort you to a safe house.
Okay.
A safe house is different from a shelter. A lot of women do not understand that. A safe house is unknown.
Right.
A safe house, you cannot have any connection with your family. A safe house, you cannot take phones in. A safe house is just what it is.
Okay.
It's to keep you safe.
Yes, ma'am.
So once I got to Houston, they put me in a safe house. Stayed there 2 weeks, got myself together. Ago, that's still, you're not healed.
Mm.
You're not healed, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's a process. Coming here, got into the circuit of shelters. Being a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, in a shelter, in a safe house.
Yes, ma'am.
I've had my car stolen. I've had things thrown to me. I've woken up with Christian things on my pillows. You get to a point, Sister Nellie, I'll die for mine. I'll pack my stuff and sleep in my vehicle because I'm not here for this. You have to remember, it's a psychological at this time. It's a mental.
Right.
And you have women who are bitter and broken who want to take it out on someone.
Right.
They can't take it out. We've been fighting for years. We've been fighting our spouse, our boyfriend, so we can't fight them no more.
Mm-hmm.
Who we gonna fight? That sister next to us in that cot.
Mm.
You're not gonna fight your children because you don't want them taken, and that's your breadwinner. Because unfortunately, community, so many sisters are on the government.
Right.
They can't lose that check every week.
Right.
So when they see a sister of myself coming in, going to work, being a beautician, they get mad. You have to learn, how am I going to work this to my advantage and also to help my sister. So in the shelters, because Phoenix is different. Phoenix, whew, how many I've been through, Sister Natalie? How many shelters that you know of?
3 that I know of.
Okay. I moved to Phoenix May 28th of last year. 12. I've been in 12.
Okay.
My mama told me, ride it out. Allah has placed you there for a reason with these women. I'm very humbled because if you were to ask me who my friends were here in Phoenix, I don't include my MGTI family. It's the sisters I met in the shelters.
Yes, ma'am.
If you were to ask me a year later who took me in, strangers, community.
Yes, ma'am.
Community is not who you think. Community is who comes together. Take that community and take that COM. We come together.
Mm.
You have to get therapy.
Yes.
If you are in any type of abusive relationship, DV, sex trafficking, anything, get therapy. In the Black culture, we have a taboo on therapy.
Mm.
In the nation, get audited.
Right.
Sister, get audited.
Right.
Please get audited. You have to get that which is in you out of you.
Right.
Get around some sisters who are going to hug you. I mean, literally hug you, who are going to call you, who are going to check on you, who are going to criticize you. I appreciate the sisters who are in straight contact, such as yourself, because I can only speak on me as a Muslim MGT. Everybody can't talk to me.
Mhm.
I can't. I won't allow everybody to talk to me,
Okay.
and we should be of that nature because we see life and reality on a whole true level. But I would tell any sister, any brother, because you'd be amazed, brothers. It's some brothers going.
The minister talked about it on the lecture last night.
It's some
or
weak
on
links.
yesterday,
It's some weak links.
that but because a lot of men have been broken. We with on digital real estate, one of the brothers who is the owners of ABS Tribe, one of the partners, he actually is he talked about he was molested
Yes.
by not only a woman but a man.
Yes.
So because we all are going through so much in our community in silence,
In silence,
and
because they're afraid
silence.
and their shame.
Right.
When I walked into the safe house in Texas, it was two men in there,
Yes.
and it was a shame because what man? A man is proud, bold,
Right.
but when somebody has broken you, it's a shame,
Yes.
especially for a man,
Yes, ma'am.
especially for a black man.
Right.
No black man is going to go to another black man. I'm getting abused. Just let's be real, brother. How many black men really gonna step up to the plate and go to his brother? Brother, I'm getting abused. You just not.
Right.
So when I walked into that shelter and that safe house, let me quit saying shelter, that safe home, and seen two men. One was from Florida and one was from Iowa. It's a whole another different type of hurt, Sister Natalie.
Yes, ma'am.
Because as a woman, if it's happening to a man, who's going to protect me if he can't protect himself? And men need to get out of that stigma. If a man touches you, you go tell somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's a woman, you tell somebody.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's abuse. And the minister's right. Me, I was away from the nation, marrying the lost found, my bad. Even falling back in ranks. Where's the marriages? Where's the marriages?
Well, fortunately,
we got to heal each other.
We're seeing
this. It's been beautiful this month.
Oh my goodness! Wait, y'all know we ain't supposed. But
right.
It's been a lot of young, and what I like.
It's been beautiful.
Is that yes? It's very beautiful because marriage. The minister said that marriage is becoming a dying institution.
Yes.
And the reason it's dying is because so many people are growing up with, in bad families or, marriages.
Yes.
That they say, oh, I don't want to go through that. I met a sister the other day. She said, I'm 53 years old and I never planned on being married, and they've gotten comfortable. A lot of us have gotten comfortable, in that. But I think,
may I ask, how do you get comfortable without being complete?
We psych ourselves out. We condition our mind to what we will accept and what we will not accept. And when you've gone through a lot of pain,
yes,
and you have not healed from that pain, and you're looking for the next person to bring you more pain, and you don't want that pain, then you block that out, of your mind. But I think what happens is we block our blessings when we do that. But first and foremost, we really have to take that journey within. Alone.
You do.
I was married before, and my ex-husband was verbally abusive. I mean, at the point I was 300 pounds and I wasn't comfortable at being 300 pounds, but he made me feel even worse.
Yes.
At being 300 pounds, and just the way that he talked to me and the way he treated me
Mm-hmm.
and expected me to do everything for him. And I thought, as a young wife, because I got married when I was 21. So as a young wife, I thought I was supposed to be submissive. I was supposed to do whatever he wanted. If he wanted to watch football, I watch football. If he wanted to eat whatever, I had to cook it.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted his shirts ironed, I had to iron it.
And we feel
You
like we're
know,
doing our job. We're
and
pleasing.
well, I thought that that's what
Yes.
being a good wife
Yes, ma'am.
was being submissive. But the submissive part was to submit to the God of the
Yes.
universe. And if he submits to the God of the universe, then it's easy for me to submit
Yes,
to
ma'am.
my husband, because that's the natural order
Yes, ma'am.
of
Yes,
things.
ma'am.
But when the man is out of line, out of connection with the God, that's something we as women should see before we even get married
Yes, ma'am.
to that man. So it just shows that we have a lot of work, mothers, with our daughters to
Yes.
make sure that they are complete. Make sure our son is complete
Yes.
as a human being, that he knows his boundaries and knows that his connection with the God,
Yes.
so
And that's excuse me, but you're very that what you just said is major,
yes,
because the night I got thrown out, how did you get here and what are you going to do?
right,
Obviously, how I got here was I was not being in connection, but I never would have made that choice had the brother been in alignment. I recognized it. Come on, I'm not going to sit here and say before I left Texas. You know, when you are in a unrestricted courtship,
Mm,
it's rules to the game.
that's right.
So you
Designed
can
for your
candy
safety.
coat it, you can fix it up, you can dress it up as pretty as you want. Wrong is wrong, right is right. A dirty glass, a clean glass. How am I call and tell on someone if I'm not in order? Well, sister, you knew the brother wasn't in order when he was talking to you here in Arizona and you was in Texas. But the submission, I wasn't in submission to Allah. I was in submission to, I was about to give me another husband
Right,
who was not in submission to Allah. So it was bad from the get go.
right, right.
And nobody, I don't, we say we gonna make it right. You can't make it right if he, how you gonna make something that's by divine order of Allah right
Mm,
if you going in wrong?
right,
And with the community, like you say, the community has to get back to the basics. We grew up where Miss Schaefer next door, if she sees Jennifer sitting outside or watching my brothers play basketball with the other boys in the block, you better get over in that yard. It starts with the community.
right.
We raise the women from the bottom. If you see a young sister out here, excuse me, if you see a young sister out here, and that's why I love the environment I'm in now.
Yes.
Because yesterday I could use the lollipop scenario with a couple of the girls around here. They're wearing their clothes loose. They're not dressing. But we have men come through here.
Mm,
And you can be simple, but let's always check ourselves.
right.
But we have to, as a community, go back to the basics. If you know it's a young sister with a whole bunch of brothers whose mother work and she don't get out, go get that girl. Spend some time with her. You know,
Did you all have like block clubs
we
growing
had
up?
block clubs, block parties, block
Right.
clubs. But when I'm 50, all praise be to Allah through it all. When we were growing up, Sister Natalie, the girls hung with the girls. If you got too far out there, you was fast.
Right.
Do we even hear the word fast no more?
Well, they on who is that? That they run real fast? Sonic. Yeah, people on Sonic right now. The fast is just, oh, you slow if you fast. But
Well,
they on Sonic. They like I'm running, out here, and we don't even realize that we're running to our own demise.
that's it.
With the speed that we're moving as women, and I think that adds to the problem.
Yes.
It's us not being in the control of ourselves.
Also, I think what adds to the problem, demasculation, gentrification. We're talking community based.
Right.
Um, I remember seeing the man when I was young. It was something for a man to have his wife to keep his wife together. Women driving their Cadillacs back then. Or I just went and brought my wife a new garment. It goes back to what we are dealing with as a nation. When they took the Section 8, put the men out the house.
Mm-hmm.
All this comes with abuse. And a lot of people don't understand that. Because they threw our men out in the streets. They told us we couldn't have them in the houses when they gave us these supposedly benefits.
Right.
But was it a benefit?
Mm.
I remember one time my father telling me $250 ain't gonna take care of you and them boys. We don't wait on the white man to pay us. My father raised us like that because he was a hardworking man who took care of family.
Right.
But in the last 20 years, sister, come on. You see less and less men. And I'm starting to say, well, this is where me, because I've had to deal with my own demons. When did it go from the man taking care of the woman to the woman taking care of the man? And I'm not talking about in-house. I'm talking about, you look at the videos, you look at the TVs, and what do you see? She's a bad bee if she got me. It flipped on us.
Right.
Somewhere the women lost her worth.
Well, and that takes us into a whole nother realm when we talk about the society and the world that we live in, and what has we did a show about it, about the community, the change in the community. What was that called? Hmm. Social engineering.
There you go.
Are black people being socially engineered?
Yes, ma'am.
And we are, and we're the minister said also in that lecture that 1 out of every 9 men was homosexual.
Yeah.
So those are our men being taken out of our community through homosexuality. We have men being murdered. We have men going to jail. We have men saying, I'm going to be single and a player. And those are conditions that have been created through music. Yes, sir. You want to add something?
I just have to say this, that as we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, you absolutely watched that shift. If you think about just hip hop in general, when we first came in, you had Queen Latifah, right? You had Queen Latifah with Ladies First and Money Love and all of that. But then in the 90s, with the introduction of gangster rap, it switched. And the switch was now excuse me, the name of the group is the name of the group. I'm a whore with an attitude. I'm a bitch with a problem.
Yes.
Right? And this is at the same time as NWA, Niggas with Attitudes, is out. Right. And this was all orchestrated by those in the music industry. Now, with that, you also had the flip, because remember, a lot of us growing up listening to gangster rap, I'm not blaming gangster rap. I'm just saying that it's not called a radio program without a reason. Okay.
Correct.
So we're listening to what is that verse Biggie say? You're not gonna get nothing from me but basically sex. I'm not giving you no money. And if you listen to Eazy-E was saying, if you somebody looking up to me, then life ain't nothing but tricks and money. He didn't say that, but I don't want to keep using that word.
Right.
But that's what he said. These are the things that we growing up under. And even at the same time, if you go back in the late 80s, the women are, if you ain't got a job, right? Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a job. If you're going to be, I'm independent and I don't need nobody. and all of that. So as we just said, we all being socially engineered. We were all being socially engineered to the point where we are now, and even more so at this point. And I'm gonna end on this right here. Some of my family members go through abuse, have been through abuse with women, and they were men, and to the point where they attacked them and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And the reality is that
Thank you.
they continued. Every woman that came after that, it was the same woman with a different face,
It's a cycle.
because until you make the decision that you're not
Yes.
going to accept that, until you make the decision that not only you're not going to accept it, but that is not the way you want to be treated.
Correct.
Because the reason that it keeps coming back to you is because you haven't changed your mind. See, be ye transformed by the
Come on.
renewing of your mind, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
In the
sir.
intro and closing the gap, we've been reading this every day for the last couple of days. And the introduction says that as a man or woman thinketh in their
Yes.
mind, then so is he. And it says that a man or a woman, right, they'll never experience or have anything that their mind is
That's
not
right.
prepared for.
Yes.
Then it goes on further to say that everything from the way that your furniture is, from
Yes.
the car you drive, to everything you do is a summation and basically it is caused by your thoughts.
That's right. Thought
It's
process.
caused by your thoughts. So this is the beauty of the MGT class, because after 400 years of being under the enemy, right? Now here comes God to repair the mind of the
Yes,
woman
sir.
for the first
Yes, sir.
time.
Yes.
Here comes God to come in and say, you're not just a belly warmer or
That's
a
right.
bed warmer or a bed wench. You're not this, and no man should just have
That's
this
right.
kind of access to you.
That's right.
You know
We
what I
talked
mean?
about
Here's the
that.
first time that some man saying that a nation could rise no higher than this
Come on
woman.
now.
Here's the first time that a
Yes.
man is saying put some clothes on because you're a queen and you need
Yes.
to look like royalty and go back into your grandmother's closet.
That's
Here's the
right.
first time that this man is not only teaching you that,
Yes.
but he's teaching the man to take care of his responsibility, to treat you like a
Yes.
queen, to understand his nature and your nature. And that man, if you don't know, is the most honorable Elijah
Yes,
Muhammad
sir.
and the
All
honorable
praise be
minister
to
Lord
Allah.
Farrakhan. That's the beauty of the FOI
Mhm.
class and the MGT class. Now, with any class, you
Yes.
have different levels of students,
That's right.
which means that you're gonna have some, right? They ain't doing it all the way.
Come on.
And that's where, right, come on now.
That's right.
They ain't
That's
doing
right.
their homework,
Right.
so
That's
therefore,
right.
because they not doing it, they not going to get a good grade.
That's right.
So when you see that and you meet that in the FOI or MGT, then you know what it is. You
Yes,
in the
sir.
class, but you ain't applying everything that you learn. I'm going to end here. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in How to Give Birth to God said these powerful words right here. He said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us everything,
Everything.
but we just missed it.
Yes. All praise be to Allah. Thank you, brother. I would like to touch on what you just said because you said it all in a snippet. And all praise be to Allah. Islam. And this is for the lost found or the inactive. It took me to fall back in ranks. It did. To see where I've been. And I bear witness that Allah loved me so much that he allowed me to see where I've been. You right, brother. Because as a single sister, and we all know sisters, let's just be real, that inbox can get you caught up. Stay out that inbox.
Stay out of it.
It can get you caught up
With a hello.
with a simple. Let's go deeper. Assalamu alaikum.
Oh yeah, yeah. As
With-
a married woman,
with-
I've seen
yes,
it. It's crazy.
with a simple assalamu alaikum.
Yes, that's how it starts. Stay out the inbox.
The inbox is a setup
Mm,
if you allow it to be.
yes.
If you allow it to be. It can also be a reminder, because I've had to check some brothers in that inbox.
Yes.
What you doing? Social sites can get you caught up. Dating chat. We don't supposed to be on there anyway.
Right.
Now, I'm not telling you nothing Sister Jennifer has indeed been through, because I try not to be a hypocrite. And that's what we all need to remind ourselves. We are striving. But if I can have a brother or sister pull my coattail before I get my head bumped, I'm blessed.
Yes.
I'm
ma'am.
blessed. The chat lines, the inbox, the cordial, like brother just said, if you are in your classes and if you reading your Quran and if you saying your salats, even if it come for you, it's not going to be able to break your force field.
Right.
Because our classes are for a purpose. That self-improvement is for a purpose.
Mhm.
And go back to what you said, you'll see it coming.
Right.
You'll see it coming for you. I laugh now. I seriously laugh. Whoa, I laugh. But I'm grateful, because what I didn't see 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, I see it coming now.
Right.
And I know how to deal with it. I know how to handle it.
Mm.
All praise be to Allah and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because what we are taught is for a purpose.
Right.
And it'll put a perimeter around you.
Mm.
I just had one come in here yesterday. Walk down that hall from a barbershop here. Come in here, brother. You gonna be my wife. That's what the brother came in here and said. And without fault, I said, well, all praise be to Allah. You Muslim? I offered him a final call. I said, yes, sir. Have you ever been to the Nation of Islam, Muhammad Mosque, any of them? No, I don't eat pork. Well, brother, this one here deeper than just not eating pork.
All right.
All praise be to Allah. You don't mess with the swine.
And I think, sis, you have to, I was single for 7 years.
Discern.
From my first marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
And during that time, I really did do some self-analysis, and I did go in to the God. And so my everyday became, Allah, what do you want
There
me
you
to
go.
do today?
Yes, ma'am.
Allah, what do you want from me
Yes.
today? How do you want me to live this life?
Yes.
And that's how I really just started conditioning my mind. And over that time, he, had me to raise 2 young girls,
Yes.
helped to raise them for a period of time in their life. And so that was my focus on raising young women. And so I had to focus on what did God want from
Yes.
women,
Purpose.
And so as I was going through my MGT classes and bringing them with me and learning how to be a woman of God.
Yes. Yes.
So when my husband, and for them 7 years, did nobody ask to court me either. So it was a long 7 years. So I understand.
Yes.
Right.
Because we do get to wondering,
When?
how long am I too old?
Right.
Am I not peaceable? And I know it's many sisters who deal with this.
Right.
I've asked sisters, well, what's going on that is, and we don't want to lose, because that's hope. And when you are in faith, when you lose that, you lose a part of you. You lose a part of your self-esteem. No, sister, you dress yourself up. My mother used to say, you get up every day. I don't care if you're walking around the house, and fix yourself up, because you present yourself. You're a present. My niece told me last year, Auntie, but you the gift. Sister, you the present. So it's how we present ourselves. And I'm just, I'm just, when Minister Iman Charles say, I'm just a little rough, y'all. If you present yourself like a whore, if you present yourself like a just loose woman, if you present yourself as a needy woman, or as a sister, all praise be to Allah, my sister Stephanie here. If this is where you are, sister, that's what you're going to attract. Build yourself up.
Right.
Heal yourself up.
Right.
Pray yourself up. Keep yourself up. In class this morning, Sister Captain said, you got yourself together. Keep your children together. Focus on what needs to be focused. I get told I'm bougie. I'm stuck up. I'm not friendly. No, I'm very friendly. I'm not bougie. I'm broke. I'm just saying. But I walk with light. I walk because I know Jennifer was created for purpose.
Absolutely.
And that's what, because you can get beat down so bad, and nobody ever has to touch you to beat you down. We need to understand that. Nobody has to. The cards that we showed at the front, I wrote that because it's not going to be easy. I know it's some women watching right now. I know some going to watch after when they get time. It's not going to be easy. Even when you're going through your own, act like it's good.
Yes, ma'am.
What, like brother said, what you think in your mind, what you manifest is what's going to come. I've had people say, how you homeless open up salons? Allah.
That's right.
Allah. Y'all know my story. How many times have I tried to leave Phoenix? Trying to leave now. I am truly trying to leave Phoenix. Phoenix won't let me go. So I have to serve my purpose. Build yourself up. Don't give up. Follow the laws. If I could, I'm going to say his name because he talked so cold to me when I did get in trouble.
Okay.
Brother Iman Abdul up in California. Follow the laws. It's rules to the game.
Right.
If you follow the laws, if you go by the rules, you won't get hurt. If you get hurt, because everybody's not sincere, and I bear witness to that, and that goes for both men and women. Men stop playing games, sisters, brothers stop playing games, sisters stop playing games. Play with yourself first, and I mean that on a very intellectual level. Because if you don't like something, how do you think the next person gonna feel? Courtship, I couldn't even get involved with a brother without a courtship now, without counseling. I'm being very sincere when I speak that. It is necessary.
Absolutely.
It is necessary. You go to court, you ask them what you want. And with that being said, if a brother cannot handle my past history of domestic violence, abuse, how is he going to handle me when we're in the home together?
Well, considering the man is the maintainer, right? And we know that, at least that's what we know and understand in the Nation of Islam. And any good Christian that follows scripture knows that the man is the maintainer of the women. And Minister Farrakhan actually shared with the brothers and the sisters, it's not just a financial maintenance. You know, I and most of you all that know, we're kind of, you may not know a lot about me individually on this particular feed. Let us build an intentional community. But I have another site that's called Love My Kidneys. Love My Kidneys, I'm currently on dialysis. But my husband maintains me. My husband makes sure he's my nurse.
Yes.
He's my my everything when it comes to dialysis. He prepares the machine. He actually cannulates me, which is sticking the needle in my arm. I mean, he loves me. He makes sure that the house is sanitized and clean so that I don't get infections.
Mhm.
right? So there's a whole nother level of maintenance that's not just financial. And I think sometimes, as women, we get into the financial
Mhm.
maintenance. And then, so if there's abuse, we're so dependent on that finance that that's
Yes,
one of the
ma'am.
reasons we don't want to leave, because we're
Yes,
financially
ma'am.
comfortable.
Yes, ma'am.
And this can be on all levels. It can be we live in a hood, but we live in a nice part of the hood. It can be I'm a millionaire and I'm living at the top of the hill and I don't want to let this go.
And
You
that
know?
was my story.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
ex-husband, he was a go-getter. He was a
Okay.
hustler.
Right.
Plus me being a hairdresser, money wasn't the problem.
Right.
It was that support, that emotional. Like
Mhm.
you say, that's a form of abuse if your spouse is not doing what they are supposed to be doing. That could be mental, emotional abuse. I've heard it. I've heard of women and men say, well, even down to in the bedroom. All that is an abuse, because if it's in divine alignment and everything's sinking, it's going to flow. So learn yourself
Mhm.
before. I'll tell any young woman, because everybody want to get married. It's a job. You taking on a job.
Well, I think it's more like a life journey. I
It's
wouldn't
a,
call it. I
well,
wouldn't call
you're
it
right.
a
I'm gonna take it back.
job.
Let me change it. Correction. I'm gonna call it a journey. I'm gonna call it growth. Let me use. Wait a minute. Let me use this. It's a growth spurt. It's a journey. It's an experience, but it's divine elevation to me.
It absolutely
It's divine elevation.
I just want to say this to anybody that's out there, whether you're courting or planning on courting, or you're planning on getting married, or you're getting married soon. Here's some food for thought, and that is, what kind of legacy do you want to build?
Yes.
is.
Because if you don't have no direction
Yeah.
as a man or a woman,
Yes, sir.
then what kind of legacy can you all build together?
That's right.
You shouldn't. The man's nature is that he has an idea, a vision, a plan that he wants to fulfill, and he calls his help around to help him do what it is that he
Yes.
is attempting to do. If you don't have no goals in your life, you don't have any purpose, you're not striving to do anything, you're just living and breathing, then you don't need a wife.
Yes, sir.
You want the comfort, all right. But a wife is more than comfort. A wife, as the scripture says, is the help meet.
Yes.
And she is the comfort for a man that is attempting to do and live out the will of God and the purpose of God that's in him. So, what kind of legacy are you building? Meaning, what do you want your name to stand for?
Yes.
What do you want your family to stand for?
Yes,
It
sir.
should be a planned out thing. I mean, we in the course called private banking, right?
Yeah.
And they had us to go through the dynamic of coming up with a family crest,
Yes.
and talking about the family color and the family animal and all of these things, because basically, if you think about it, when you think about the old night movies, all of them had symbols and signs, and those signs represented nations. The two nations started with a king and a queen.
Well,
So, what kind of kingdom are you building?
Yes, sir.
What kind of kingdom are you all going to build? Are you going to build one that's spectacular, or are you going to build one that's broken?
And that takes us
And
back to
that's
community.
right. That's
But
right.
that goes back to
That's
the
right. You
community,
got to have vision.
where in the community we have to rebuild and restructure
Yes,
our communities
absolutely.
to have men and women who want to have family home environment. I think in the Black culture community, like I said, they use so much against us to divide us. We have to unite. Going back to Latifah,
Yes.
UNITY.
That's right.
That's right.
UNITY.
Turn to bitch. you better have my money.
Come on
Mm.
now.
You
Yeah.
see
Come
the
on now.
difference?
Yeah.
So you went from unity to pimping,
There
Mm.
you go.
you
That's
know,
right.
and they made it big like that. But it's not big like that because now look at where it has gotten us over 20 years,
Come on now. Come on
you
now.
know, and music is such, everybody know I love my music, but if you just go back and listen to the music to where we are now, you will
Mm.
see the
The
change.
change, right?
You will listen to the words. I don't want my granddaughter listening to WAP,
Oh heck no.
you know.
Mm-mm.
What made these young ladies? That's abuse. I don't care how you look at it. When I see my sisters on TV doing that, somebody in the music world is abusing
Abusing
my
her
sisters.
talent.
Now she don't cook, she don't clean, she's getting a divorce. 3 weeks ago, you at number one,
Mm.
but now you're getting a divorce. So all these young girls who watched you in your community, seeing you go platinum for saying you don't cook, you don't clean, you still got a ring, but now you're getting a divorce on the headlines. We have to go back to the basics.
Absolutely.
Grab that young girl, grab that young man,
Mm-hmm.
let them know. I'd rather you get mad at me, but like I tell these young sisters, I'm not telling you something I haven't been through. I just had to tell a young sister 2 nights ago, what you going out there at night for? And I went back to my father. The only thing open after dark is 7-Eleven and your legs. If he can't call you in the daytime when you off, he don't need to call you.
Mm.
And that's where, as a community, we have to get back in. Young brothers, if you see another young brother disrespecting the queen, step in right there. Because that could be your sister, your mother.
And this is one of the things that I truly love about the Nation of Islam. And I know, sometimes friends and families like everything that come out of your mouth is Nation of Islam. But for me, we have been given a new Black agenda
Yes, ma'am.
when it comes to the Black community because we have been free for all people,
Mm-hmm.
right? We free. I'm grown. Yeah, you free to be a freak, right? You free to be a drug
Come
dealer.
on now.
That is not freedom. That is just the white man's idea of who
Mm-hmm.
you are.
Mm-hmm.
The Nation of Islam puts us back into the position of gods,
Yes.
right? Where
Yes.
we are trying to elevate and be on the highest level of consciousness, the highest
Mm-hmm.
level of awareness with God Himself. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, brothers and sisters, the Christian church is not doing that. The Christian church, right now teaches a lot of prosperity and, that God just going to take everything away and you're going to, unrealistic. You're going to get it when you
Mm.
die. These types of things. I love the Nation of Islam, and I can only
All
speak
praise
for
be
how
to
I
God.
feel.
Yes, ma'am.
But I love the Nation of Islam because it brought the idea of family back. It brought the idea of creating
Yes,
a
ma'am.
world. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Do for self," right? And people ask the question, well, why should I build a beauty salon? They got beauty salons. Why should I build a grocery store?
Mhm.
They have grocery stores. But we need our own.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when we have our own and we're elevating ourselves to the highest level of thinking, then I'm going to treat you
Yes,
the
ma'am.
highest level of respect.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you what it is that you deserve as a human being. You deserve the absolute best. So as we build this intentional Black community, whether it's in a community that's already established and these your neighbors,
Yes.
and you start going around to your neighbors and you all get back to the black block clubs, excuse me, get back to the block
Mhm.
clubs and get back to standards and get back to activities. Let's have boys meetings for young men to show them how to be a man, that they're not believing that they got to go out here and fight every day
Yes.
just to prove that they are a young man,
Yes.
or that they got to go out here and sell drugs and be in that world. No, let's show them what a real man is. A
Yes.
real man respects a woman.
Yes.
Let us have classes for our young women so that we can show them that they are the queens of the planet Earth And yes, home is your base.
It is.
Not necessarily your place, but it is your base. If you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to clean, then how you gonna be the first doctor?
Come on.
How you gonna
Come
be the
on.
first
That's
nurse?
right.
How you gonna raise these children to be gods?
Yes. Brother Nuri said it best. He said it best.
Yes, ma'am.
We are the first everything.
That's right.
And if I can't walk with my regalness, everyone asks me about the purple. The purple wall is to always remind me of my domestic violence and always push me.
Mm-hmm.
The purple chair is every queen or king that comes sits in this chair, you're transformed into a god because of your royalty.
Mm.
So that's why I invested in the purple chair.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want you to know your royalty when you walk into Sister Jennifer's
Yes,
studio.
and that's what you feel like when you walk in there. I mean,
Yes.
the shimmer around the mirror. We're gonna post the pictures because we're gonna take some pictures of everything and post some pictures on how beautiful and serene the environment
Yes.
really is, and I feel safe
That's
in
what I
this
want.
space.
Thank you, ma'am.
You know,
Yes.
I feel safe in this space. And this is what we have to remain conscious of, family, as we, you know, live our lives, the quality of life that we are living. We only
Yes.
get one.
That's it.
And you can spend your life and years in an
Oof.
abusive
Mm-hmm.
relationship, but know that you deserve better than that. You deserve to be treated like the king and the queens that you are. Your children need to be raised to feel safe.
Safe. And as the community, I would like to say, when you have a sister or brother come into your space, come into your environment, come into your churches, come into your mosques, come into your area, could be your neighborhood. Don't turn away from them. Don't push them away.
Mm.
Because what you're doing is pushing them back possibly into the hands of that abuser, pushing them back out there in the streets to what they're trying to run up out of. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't want to ask, because everybody's not ready to tell their testimony or what's going on.
Right.
But if someone comes to you in abuse, what would Jesus do? What would the minister do? But more so, what would your heart do? We have to get out of not my problem,
Mm. Right.
not my work.
Mm.
Anybody can walk through these doors. It's my problem.
Right.
It's my work. I am a Muslim girl trained in the Nation of Islam. My life, my all, everything is for Allah.
Right.
We as a community have to get back into that. You think I haven't gotten on y'all's nerves? I know I done got on plenty of nerves. I bear witness, and I'm so grateful for the ones who have not given up on me.
Yes, ma'am.
Because a person going through abuse and healing, at the end of the day, Sister Natalie, all they want to know is somebody gave a damn about me.
Mm.
Somebody care enough to say, it's going to be all right.
Right.
You're going to be okay. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. And I'm speaking to that one person, that one sheep who might be watching Sister Jennifer. Why she's still going through this? Why she should be tired by now. Why don't she just say, forget it all, take the garments off, go back to what's easy?
Mm.
And I'm going to say that again, what's
Say
easy.
that. Right.
But if one person I could save from staying in that cycle, because it's a cycle.
Mm.
And what a lot of women don't understand, when you in that cycle and you have children, your children have now became a part of a cycle. My mother left an abusive marriage. I'm not too high up. It's nothing that can. I'm honestly translucent. It's a cycle. Love does not hurt. It's not supposed to.
Right.
But if you can save one person You riding down the street, because I know I've seen it, and you see a man whooping somebody's ass, you stop that car. Brothers, stop that car. Sisters, go help your sister. Because those are the times we in now.
Mm.
But how we gonna fight our oppressor and our enemy if we not gonna help each other and come together as one? And abuse is a cycle.
Right.
And usually you meeting Sister Jennifer and her abuse. Where did it come from? Where did she see that was okay?
Mm. Yes, ma'am.
You feeling me?
Yes, ma'am. And you're absolutely right, sister. Um, as we deal with this family, it is a difficult situation. And if you're on the other end of our voices and you are in that situation, there are safe places for you.
Yes, ma'am.
There is an exit, there is a way out. You do not have to remain, and nor should you remain in that situation. This is your time right now to get out of that situation. You can survive without, or brothers, you can survive without that person. If they're bringing you down, if they are destroying your spirit,
Yes.
you are loved. The God loves you. He loves you so much that he would say, he said he would climb a mountain 40 miles high and eat rattlesnakes
Come on.
in order to save you. That is the God, and he's very real. And we want you to know that Sister Jennifer is going to show you this number. You get turn around. Make sure that they can see it. You might want to push it a little bit closer. Say it out loud for them.
1-800-799-7233 is the national hotline for domestic violence. You don't have to talk. You can email. You can call them. Stay on the line for 3 minutes. Someone will call you back. Walk away. Start planning. If you have to say you got to walk out the back door to go check on something and jump your fence and run through that backyard, go. But please, walk away.
Walk away, fam.
Walk away.
Absolutely.
I bear witness it's not going to be easy. I bear witness it's not going to happen overnight. I bear witness you going to want to change your mind a couple of times simply because it's hard. But today, I'm here. I'm alive.
That's right. That's right.
I'm striving.
Yes, ma'am.
It was just last year. No, this year. I had some FOI, sister. Tell me, sister, we can take care of your fear. But can't nobody take care of your fear but you. Can't no you can go beat people up all day long. People hunt people in their death. You have to be willing to walk away.
Yes, ma'am.
Domestic violence is a illness. And you don't have to stay sick, is all I can tell
That's
anybody.
right. Yes, ma'am.
My address is 3163 South McClintock. I'm here in Tempe. If any young women are going through this and you're scared, you're more than welcome just to walk in. You don't have to say one word to me. Walk in, have a seat, and I'll know exactly why you're here. It's that simple.
Yes,
I can get you help. I can direct you to your references. This year, as you see the purple container, I want to do this.
Okay.
I have chosen Sojourner shelter in Phoenix, Texas. If you,
Phoenix, Texas.
I said Phoenix, Texas. That Texas on my mind.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute.
In Phoenix, Arizona, Texas. What y'all down there doing? But Phoenix, Arizona, the Sojourner Women and Children's Battered Shelter, I have chosen. So for the month of October, I'm accepting all donations for personal hygiene, I'm not asking for clothes, but if you bring them in a bag, but
Clean.
clean. Um, they have to be new for they have to because
Okay.
of the virus.
Oh, okay.
So
It has to be
unfortunately,
new.
no hands. It has to be clean due to the COVID. I do this yearly. I've been doing it for 7 years, going to 8 now.
Oh,
Praise be to
wow.
Allah.
Yes, ma'am.
At the end of the month, it is my birthday month.
Uh-oh. Guess
So
who else's birthday month it is? The most honorable Elijah
yeah,
Muhammad.
that's a cap. No cap, right. Look, nephew, I think I got it saying no cap. But I take the donations down there as well. I do gift certificates. So once a week, the shelter is allowed to bring me a sister from there.
Okay.
And I transform her.
Oh, Allahu
Yes, ma'am.
Akbar.
Yes, ma'am. So
That's beautiful.
this is something I decided to do
Yes, ma'am.
once I made that choice.
Okay.
Um, it's very dear and near to my heart
Yes,
as well. I go out and feed the homeless. When you see a person on the corner, don't ask them their story. Be a part of it. Pass out we spend $1 on everything. You know, if you got water or juice in your car, give it to them. And if you don't have anything, just tell them it's gonna be okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Brother Yasin Farrakhan told me something one day, and it has stuck with me. And I'm gonna leave with this because not even with the homeless, but even with abuse, but just every day. Teach them about faith, sisters, what he told me.
Hmm.
A mustard seed is a mustard seed, but what you sow can grow.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Keep faith in your face.
Okay.
Keep faith in your face. Anybody listening, say it.
Yes.
Speak faith into existence. If you don't have it, get it.
Mm.
Because everything I've been through came through my faith.
Yes.
It came through faith,
Yes, ma'am.
knowing that Allah God marvelously created me. What we go through in life, we create ourselves.
Mm.
He
Yes.
is the best of knowers. He's the best of planners. A lot of times, and it has taken years for me to say this, and then I'm gonna be done. But to be humbled is a gift. It's a blessing. A lot of times, brothers and sisters, we get ourselves in situations that we could have avoided. But if you have faith and trust in Allah, you'll overcome it.
That's right.
You'll overcome
Absolutely.
it. So
Absolutely.
that's what I'm gonna leave
Awesome.
you with.
Thank you, Sister Jennifer, so much. I greatly appreciate it. I really spending this time, with
Thank you.
you and you sharing such a difficult part of your life
Yes, ma'am.
with us. I pray that it has given hope, to someone out there. And you had to walk away.
Yes.
You had to find, a place of safety for you
Yes.
because you knew you needed to heal.
Yes.
Allah showed you that you needed to heal and you listened.
Yes.
And that journey to become completely healed is a life journey.
It's a process.
It is a life journey.
Yes.
And I pray that Allah bless you with a husband that will be able to assist you on your journey.
Thank you.
Because you
ma'am.
don't have to be whole when you become. That's why we're half
Yes.
of being
Yes.
married is half of faith.
Yes.
We
ma'am.
help each other grow,
Yes.
to become that oneness with
Yes.
Allah. Two things. One, I just looked over at your sign on the wall and it said, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. So if you don't know, I mean, you just got to step out there on faith sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you get to the point that you just tired of being tired,
yes,
I
ma'am.
told my ex-husband, and I was so sweet when I was 18, 20 years old. I really was. I was like, oh, however, see, I'm a different woman now. My poor husband, he got a different kind of woman. But I told him when I finally got fed up, I said, I'm not tiptoeing through the tulips with you no more.
That's right.
And you know what Sister Natalie did?
Mm.
I went and found this man an apartment.
Come
I
on.
paid the first month rent. I paid the security deposit. I packed up his stuff and I said, let's go. And I drove him to his
Come
new
on.
place
Yes, ma'am.
because I was tired.
Yes.
And this was the only way that I knew to get rid of him out of my life.
Yes.
And I wasn't walking away from what I had already set up because I was the one working.
Yes.
I was the one doing
But
maintaining.
you was prepared.
You
And you
know,
was ready. You was tired.
I was tired.
Yes.
So whatever way you got to step out, I don't
Yes.
suggest paying nobody else's rent and all of that stuff. That was me
'Cause
being a
you know,
young,
us.
right, me being young and just not, because he should have been able to handle his own business. But my point is this: whatever way you got to do it, be wise. Don't tell them this is what you're going to do, right? And for the children, let me say this for the babies
Yes, ma'am.
that are being abused. Please tell somebody.
Please.
Find grandma,
Please.
find a neighbor, find somebody that's being nice to you. You know, call the suicide hotline or the abuse hotline. Children can call this hotline too. Can children call this
Oh
hotline?
yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
I just don't, I want you to reach out,
Yes.
and I don't want your abusers to abuse you anymore because you are worthy of so much more. God loves you
Yes.
and he wants you to be in a safe place.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me apologize. And I say, I'm sorry that you're going through that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I tell you, if Auntie Natalie could give you a hug and tell you it's going to be okay, that's exactly what I would do. And there's other people around you that will do the same thing. There's aunties all around you. You just got to look and find who you believe you can trust, family. So we got to change this in our community. It is extremely important that our new Black conscious communities, whether we develop them once we separate from our open enemy, or if we do it within the community we already have, we got to go with a different kind of mindset and a different kind of thought. And it is community. And we got to protect one another in the community. And certain things we just can no longer accept. It is unacceptable to abuse somebody. And we didn't talk to the abusers. We'll deal with you on another time. But it is no longer acceptable to have abuse in our community. We must be the ones that stop it. Step up, family, and let's step out on faith and let's make this change in our community. Again, I thank everybody, for speaking. My beloved young son wants to share something before we close out, and then we'll let Dawood give the final word. Again, Sister Jennifer, it has truly been a pleasure
Yes, thank
for
you.
this fireside
It has
chat.
been a healing session.
Yes, ma'am.
I would just say this, and then, brother, I'm gonna let y'all two brothers end it. You are very, very necessary. If you haven't heard that today, you are needed, you are loved, you are necessary, and you deserve. Like Sister said, you might have to go through some time alone. Allow Allah to heal you. Allow yourself to heal you. Allow your body to heal. I'm saying this, sisters, because it's not fair to invite another person into someone else's history. Heal yourself, heal your body, heal your mind. When it's time, Allah knows. But right now, as a community, can we heal one another? Don't turn your back on someone who needs love. Because one day, you might find yourself in the same place. If you've been there, you know where you've been. And if you're fixed up now, that doesn't mean leave someone behind. In the nation, we are militant army. If we in war, we go back and get our soldiers. And that's the same way with the community and abuse. No nation can rise no higher than its women. Women, carry yourself as such. Carry yourself as such. That way, respect is given to you. Assalamu alaikum. I'm glad you joined me. Again, thank you all for coming in, allowing my salon and my platform to be a part of this. I'm very honored, Sister Natalie, because it's something very sincere and dear to me. And even through my own strife in life, this is something, no matter what's going on in my personal life, it will be here with me. I'll do this every year because I know from going through safe houses, shelters, being on the street, the numbers are too high. And with this pandemic, they're higher.
Mm,
People lost jobs,
right.
incomes. We don't see what's behind pulled blinds and closed doors. But you just never know who's watching this. Please share this video, comments. You can reach either of us. But right now, it's time to rebuild family, love, and community. Thank you for joining us today. Phenomenal Designs by Jennifer LLC is always available. You can contact me at 623-313-1030. If you have any donations, I will more than be gracious to welcome. If you want to go with me when I drop the donations off, you're more than welcome. I would like for this to grow. Phoenix, we have a lot of work to do. Arizona, um, it's necessary. I know the numbers here. So we have a lot of work to do. A lot.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I agree with everything that Sister Jennifer and my mom said. And I know, we're not really going to talk about the abuses like that, but I want to give something brief on that. You have to stop yourself, like, in your tracks, because, like, if you have signs of that you have the behavior,
Yes.
like, because I know I've dealt with it in myself. You have to stop thinking that you control everyone and everything around you.
Brother, come over here so they can see you.
Oh, sorry.
You can sit in the royalty.
Thank you.
You have to stop thinking that you control everything around you and that you have absolute power and control. You don't. And part of the reason you feel like that is because you don't have no control of your life and you taking it on other people, like with bullies in school, because I was bullied verbally, not physically. But a lot of them they themselves are getting bullied and then they take it out on you instead of actually dealing with the problem and choosing to do better. And at a certain point, you do have to choose to do better, because at this time, people not playing that no more. Like, they will beat you up. They not playing that no more. Or shoot you. And that is not the same as it was. So you have to stop yourself in your tracks. You have to forgive yourself too if you've done acts of abuse, and you have to continue to work on that control aspect and realize that you don't have any control other than yourself. And by you being in control of yourself and submitting to Allah, that's how you become a better person. Because I understand being programmed by the white man as well, because that's his version of control. His version of control is he has to be in every part of everybody's lives, and he's the center of attention, and he don't want nobody to stop looking at him. But we have to make sure that we don't be like him and get rid of that part of us, of ourselves. And part of it, understand some of us are leaders or are rulers or going to be rulers or whatever, but you have to understand that to rule justly, you have to rule the way Allah wants you to rule. How that is, you have to treat everybody right. Don't have any favorites. Don't be like, you my main man, you my main sister, and all that. No favorites.
That's right.
You got to play fair and treat everybody right.
That's right. All praise be to Allah.
And that's what I wanted to end it on.
Thank you.
All praise be to Allah.
Family, we thank you for tuning in with us. We know that this is a very serious conversation. And if you stack on top of that 400 years of being taught, 400 years of being taught wrongly. We haven't been taught how to be family one to another. We haven't been taught how to have proper relationships between each other. And this is the beauty of the Nation of Islam. And it is the beauty of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So for those of you who are listening, if you don't have it, we highly recommend that you get a study course by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan entitled Self-Improvement, the Basis for Community Development. Right now, We are studying Rising Above Emotion into the Thinking of God, which is the 18th part of this study. You can get that at store.finalcall.com. That's store.finalcall.com. I also dropped two lectures by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Domestic Violence Part 1 and 2 in the chat. Those are those YouTube links that you can actually get those and, listen to those. All of us in the household, even if you're not dealing with domestic violence, he gives the basis of good relationships. He gives the basis of good relationships and how abuse comes about, you know. So those two are in there, but if you need the physical copy, again, store.finalcall.com, you can actually pick those up. But lastly, family, we thank you so much, but we want to end in prayer and and then we're going to go ahead and shut this down. Attention, prayer. In the most holy name of Allah, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the world, the beneficent, the most merciful, Master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, O Allah, thee alone do we seek for thine aid. Guide us, O Allah, on the straight path. For thy blessing, not the path of those who incur wrath, nor the path of those who go after thou heard thy teachings. You know that we as a community are hurting, but you said that you came to heal our wounds. Or Allah, you know that we are broken, but you said that you came to fix and rebuild that which is broken. Bless us, O Allah, to adhere to the truth that you have brought and given to your servant, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. O Allah, bless us to heed those words. O Allah, and to pick up this teaching and truly apply it to our lives. Bless, O Allah, and heal our families, heal our relationships, heal our minds, O Allah. And bless your presence to just be so in our lives that they know that indeed the kingdom of God has begun right here. Oh Allah, we thank you, we praise you, we love you, we honor you. We bear witness that there is no God but thee, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and we bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed the exalted Christ and the Messiah. And we bear witness that the honorable minister Lord Farrakhan is thy divine reminder, warning, and comfort in our midst. That most holy and righteous names we pray and ask that you would accept our prayers. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much for tuning in, brothers and sisters.
Allahu Akbar.
Please share this. And if you have, again, our sister told you where her location is. If you have any questions, any concerns, inbox us. Any information we can't get to you, we definitely will, about this domestic violence. If you haven't subscribed to Farrakhan the Tucson, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to Let Us Build a Black Conscious, Intentional Black Conscious Community, please do so. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if that's what you're watching. We really would appreciate that. Hit that like button, hit that bell so you know that when we come on. And please share. We thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
That was beautiful.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes. Oh,
Allahu
praise.
Akbar.
Them cupcakes is